Jesus, the central character of Christianity, the most popular religion in the world, was a Jewish preacher and religious leader who lived in the 1st century in the lands of Galilee and Judea. Most Christians think Jesus is the promised Messiah, the Christ of the Bible, and the incarnation of God the Son. Whether or not he is the Messiah, nonetheless, Jesus is one of the most influential people to ever live, and his name is amongst the most iconic in the world. But with such an iconic name, it begs the question, how common was the name Jesus? Alongside the main Jesus we know, the name Jesus has been associated with several people, and surprisingly, the Bible has several references to people with that name. First off, the person who is known to us as Jesus would not have been known by the name Jesus during his lifetime. The name Jesus is an anglicization of Isus, a Latinization of the Greek word Iesus, which is the Greek version of the name Yeshua, which is a Hebrew/Aramaic name. People in his immediate vicinity would have recognized Jesus, the son of Joseph, as Yeshua ben Yosef. Yeshua is a form of the name Yehoshua, which adds another level of complexity. Yehoshua is then anglicized into Joshua, which ultimately leads to the conclusion that Jesus and Joshua are through a complicated process the same name. And of course, many of you probably haven't read the Bible and do not know that Joshua is the subject of the book of Joshua, who led the Jewish people into the promised land and overcame the Canaanites. In this sense, naming your kid Yeshua or Yehoshua is similar to the traditional practices in early America, where the names of children were inspired by the founding fathers, such as George Washington. In ancient days, there were many more Joshuas, including the biblical high priest from the book of Zechariah, and more concrete proof like the tombstones discovered on several graves in the area from that time. It's likely that some of you recall the little news story from 10 years ago about Jerusalem's Talpiot tomb, where it was discovered that the names of Jesus, Mary and Joseph were written on ossuaries. The tomb was highly controversial as it included 10 ossuaries, 6 inscribed with epigraphs, including one interpreted as Yeshua bar Yehoseph, or Joshua son of Joseph, though the inscription is partially illegible and its translation and interpretation is widely disputed. Of course, there exist numerous instances of Yeshua bar Yehoseph and related deviations being found in epigraphy, which a multitude do not refer to the name Jesus. A comparable ossuary with the inscription Yaakov bar Yosef Atri de Yeshua, James son of Joseph, brother of Jesus, also exists. Although there is substantial speculation that this is a more recent hoax, and even if genuine, it can be explained by the prevalence of such names. And so, in conclusion, the name Jesus was probably fairly common in ancient Jewish communities, but due to peculiarities of transliteration, the particular form of Jesus has persisted as being somewhat distinctive and stands out from the name and the other Joshuas, despite the fact that it wouldn't have at the time. This has been me, Jack, and if you're Jesus, please leave a comment down below.